Hello all, my name is Krish Naik and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today in this particular video, I'm going to show you that how you can basically run a simple deep learning application with the help of Neurolab. That basically means you will be also able to train your entire model in the Neurolab itself, and it will be with ease. You'll not require even GPU. So let me just show you one simple example with respect to that. Now, first of all, you just go and click on this particular Neurolab, start your lab. You have to just log in inside this, and then you'll be able to access all this lab. Now in the data science, you can just go and select for TensorFlow. Now here you can see that none of the installation will basically take place. We have basically created a virtual lab specifically for TensorFlow. If you want to do with respect to Conda, you can go over here. If you want to do with respect to Jupyter Lab, you can go over here. So here I'm just going to select Conda. Right now, I don't have any GitHub repository because as soon as you start a virtual lab that is related to TensorFlow, you'll also be able to see a default project. So here you can see how quickly your virtual lab has been opened. And let me just zoom in a little bit. So I'll just zoom in this one. Okay. And by default, you'll also be able to see that some of the installation of the script will automatically happen. This installation is basically happen with respect to this particular requirement.txt. Along with that, you'll also get some notification to install some of the extensions. Go ahead and click that. Automatically, all these extensions will get updated, and here you'll be able to see all the extensions that are there. Okay. Now the next thing that is basically happening, automatically the requirement.txt is running over here, and all the libraries that are present in this requirement.txt, it will get installed. Now here you can see that how quickly it is happening, and this is happening in your virtual lab. No pressure on your local system, right? So all the installation is basically happening. Now I'll just show you one example that is there. So by default, you will be getting one code example to just show you that how you can run. You can run this entirely in a Jupyter notebook file also. Here also you can basically create a Jupyter notebook file like test.ipynb, right? But I'd suggest again, try to work with this py file so that you'll be able to do it. Okay. Now you can see over here, the installation has almost taken place. It is taking some amount of time, but it's okay because again, TensorFlow is a very big library altogether, right? And with respect to this, you will be able to see that in the TensorFlow, the type of library that I'm installing, the version, it is 2.10.0, right? So this will probably take a couple of minutes with respect to the installation. Now here you can see that all the installation has been done. So I'll move my face over here, right? So once you do this, just press any key in the terminal. This is done. This is your entire thing, and this is your TensorFlow underscore example.py. So this much is the thing that you really need to do with respect to the installation, right? Now let me just show you the code over here. Okay. Right now in Neurolab, right, we have not come up with integrated GPU, and soon we are going to come up with integrated GPU also in the virtual lab, right? And that will probably take another 15 to 20 days, which will also be accessible to you for the for the training purpose of your model, right? Right now by default, CPU will be available. So here you can see that I'm setting the OS environment for the CUDA visible devices at -1, saying that it just has to use the CPU because we have not yet configured with the GPU. But in another 15 to 20 days, you'll be able to get this specific GPU also in this. Okay. Then I'm printing the tf._version. One famous example is with respect to the data set of MNIST, right? So MNIST data set basically means you have that handwritten digits between 0 to 9, right? So I'm loading that particular data set. I'm dividing that into train test split over here. And then what we are doing over here, we are normalizing it by dividing by 255.0, so that it will just try to bring down all the values, all the pixel values between 0 to 1. And then here you can see that I've created a sequential model where I've added a flatten layer, dense layer. This flatten layer basically means I'm giving an input as 28,28. That basically means all the data set is basically in the form of an array, which is having 28,28 input dimensions. Okay. And then I'm using a dense layer, a single layer. Here I have 128 hidden neurons, and the activation function that is basically getting applied is ReLU. Then I apply a dropout layer. Then finally a dense layer with 10 output layers 10 outputs, right? Because at the end of the day, the MNIST output is between 0 to 9, right? And here you can basically see the predictions. I'm basically just trying to convert all the predictions into NumPy. And then finally, you can see that I'm applying a softmax activation function. After this dense layer, I'm adding a softmax activation function because understand the softmax activation function is used because at the end of the output layer, you basically have 10 different outputs. So whenever you have a multi-class classification, we basically have to use softmax, right? And then here you have a loss function. Here we are specifically using sparse categorical entropy. And then you can also see I'll be printing the loss values over here. And then finally we compile it with the Adam optimizer. We use the loss function, and the metrics that is used is accuracy. Finally, we do the model.fit on X train, Y train with epochs is equal to 5. 5 epochs I'm just running to just show to you. Then we do the evaluation for X test and Y test. And finally, you'll be able to see the probability model that I'm actually creating is with respect to this particular model, combining softmax over here. And we finally print the first 5 outputs of the X test data. This is only the code, basic code that we have written step by step. Again, I've made a detailed video even in my YouTube channel regarding how you can basically run an ANN application and how you can create it. So let's go ahead and run it. So in order to run it, I will just open a new terminal. And by default in the terminal, you know that the installation has been done. So I will write Python, TensorFlow, example.py. Now you'll be seeing that how quickly all the epochs will run, and understand this is not happening in your local machine. So the installation, everything is basically done in this virtual lab itself. So once I execute it, now you'll be able to see that TensorFlow is not there. So that is the reason you'll be getting some errors like cannot open shared file object, loop, this particular CUDA libraries. I think you'll not be able to open that because there is no GPUs, right? CUDA, libcuda.so.11.0. So here you will not be able to run it, but here you can see the epochs is running, and right now we are in the 5th epoch, right? And finally you can see that I'm getting the model accuracy of somewhere around 97%, and the loss is somewhere around 0.071, right? With a simple ANN, how quickly we are able to get, and this is my top 5 output with respect to all the inputs that I have, right? So finally, yes, here you can see that now what you can do is that you can again increase the number of epochs, but at least it is faster than your local system. Just imagine that once we come up with this, right, come up with the entire GPU, right, then it will be quite amazing. So now let's go and see with respect to 10 epochs. So here you have TensorFlow example.py. Now here you can see that quickly it will happen. So this is the first epoch that is going on. Then we'll go to the second epoch. The accuracy is increasing. Then third epoch. See how quickly it is happening. And here also we have set up some batch size. Just tell me how much batch size you may be finding out, right? Because here there are 1875, and the data set is that you can basically go ahead and check this entire thing. By default, this project is given. I just wanted to show you an example that how powerful we are trying to make this particular Neurolab, right? It'll be quite amazing for your working. So you don't have to worry about any local systems or installation and all. Just try to use this virtual code lab. In TensorFlow also we have the specific thing. Easily all the installation will basically be done. Now 10 epochs has been completed hardly within 30 to 40 seconds, and here we are. I'll be coming up with more examples where I specifically take a big data set and probably try to implement with the help of TensorFlow here also, right? So yes, this was it from my side. I hope you like this. Please do go ahead and check out the Neurolab. It's an amazing lab. There's so many different kind of lab templates which you can use for a coding purpose. That basically means you don't have to be dependent on high configuration systems or laptop. All you need a basic laptop or a desktop and just Google Chrome browser in that, so that you can access this particular web. And right now anybody can use it. It is completely for free for right now, right? So yes, this was it from my side. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you and all. Bye bye.